The most hated woman in the world, Camilla Shand Parker, and what you don't know about her. She is the Duchess of Cornwall and the Queen Consort of the United Kingdom. Nevertheless, she holds the title of much greater fame, the title of the woman who has the greatest hate and detestation in the world. This is how Camilla Shand, wife of Prince Charles, the new British King, is better known. In this report, we will talk about this woman who was able to convince the Prince of Wales at the time more than his charming wife Diana. So, what did attract Prince Charles to this woman, exposing his marriage and the British crown to a very violent shock? Camilla's relationship with Prince Charles began before both of them engaged in their first marriages. The Prince of Wales was then 22 years old, and Camilla was only a year older. According to royal biographer Penny Junor, they were introduced to each other by a mutual friend, Chilean historian Lucia Santa Cruz. And this mutual friend, Santa Cruz, usually joked with them, "You two be very careful, there are genetic precedents." Of course, Santa meant the relationship that was between King Edward and his mistress, Alice Cabell, as this king is Charles' grandfather while Alice Cabell is Camilla's grandmother. Perhaps the story inspired them at first, but it is certain that Charles found in Camilla a special charm that made him captive to her love for the rest of his life. Perhaps she was not very beautiful, but she was able to contain the prince, who was suffering from several psychological disorders, and she was also able to get him out of the chronic depression in which he was living. However, Camilla's long history of romantic relationships made her not meet the conditions required to be the future queen. Also, in the first period of her relationship with Prince Charles, she was in a relationship with Andrew Parker, which made the prince's marriage to her almost impossible. Camilla herself saw no point in her relationship with Charles, so she married her other lover, Parker, in 1973, and they had a great wedding attended by 800 guests, among them Princess Margaret, the Queen's sister, Princess Anne, a daughter, and Queen Mother Elizabeth. Although her husband, Andrew Parker, was a man of many relationships, the couple had 2 children and were very committed to marriage for the sake of their children. It is said that Prince Charles returned to his mistress Camilla in 1986, that is, after marrying Lady Diana, whom he could not love. At that time, the prince was in dire need of a companion close to him, who could be with her and reveal to her what was on his mind, and Camilla was the best person to fill the void inside him. Her husband, Andrew Parker Bowles, learned of their relationship, but decided not to make a fuss, believing that it was just a whim. However, the real suffering was on the part of Princess Diana, who declared in a famous interview with her, saying, "I felt that we were 3 in this marriage." She also said that she confronted Camilla with her knowledge of the details of the betrayal with her husband, and despite that, Prince Charles' insistence on Camilla was unquestionable no matter how long the years took. The royal marriage began to collapse little by little, and fingers began to point towards Camilla, as the main cause of the marital misery experienced by Princess Diana. In the early 1990s, intimate conversations between the prince and Camilla were leaked, which caused her marriage to Parker to come to an end completely. And because the storm was severe, Prince Charles and Princess Diana's marriage officially ended after that as well. Of course, public opinion has blamed Camilla, because people loved Princess Diana and called her the Princess of Hearts. That is why Camilla found herself in an unenviable position, as she was under the influence of the paparazzi and the newspapers and did not enjoy any of the protection that the royal family enjoyed. In spite of that, she was careful not to appear in the media, bending the storm with all her strength. Camilla remained the prince's only lover, and one of the reasons for his love for her was that she was not obsessed with appearances like Princess Diana, but the prince saw that Camilla supported him out of love for him, without her desire to make her glory or to headline newspapers. But was what Charles saw in her really true? She is accused of plotting to kill Princess Diana. In her book, Camilla Parker's autobiography, she said that Princess Diana sent her a message saying, "I sent someone to kill you. They are out there. Look, do you see them?" She understood, according to her, that Princess Diana was planning to kill her for her relationship with Prince Charles. Writer Andrew Martin said that it was Camilla's husband, Andrew Parker, who arranged the meetings between his wife and Prince Charles, so that she would become influential in the royal family. The same writer accused her of being a demon of black magic, and said that when she entered the palace she began plotting intrigues. Another writer accuses her of trying to get Prince William on her side in some way, and that she had been waiting since 2005, when she married Charles, for the death of Queen Elizabeth to become queen. Perhaps that's why Princess Diana called her a Rottweiler, a nickname that has been associated with Camilla since then. Camilla Parker was so desperate to earn people's respect that she sometimes seemed to try to imitate Princess Diana's style after her marriage to Prince Charles to gain the public's respect. That was obvious in her dressing style. It is said that the late Prince Philip, the father of King Charles, said in a letter to Diana that he could not imagine any man of his right mind would leave Diana for Camilla. Although many Britons do not like Camilla to be their queen, Harry, the son of Princess Diana, said in 2005 that he did not see her as the evil stepmother, and she was close to him and his brother William. Nevertheless, in 2005, Prince Charles married his beloved Camilla after many years of love and adoration. The newlyweds were in their 60s at the time, and they are now in their 70s. Camilla is 74 years old, and Charles, who became king, is 73 years old. Although Camilla is now officially the Princess of Wales, she never uses this title in connection with Princess Diana. And in February 2022, the late Queen Elizabeth expressed her sincere desire that Camilla be known as the Queen Consort when Charles inherits the throne, which she did. In the end, it is a matter of perspective, and you can't always judge the book by its cover. So, what do you think? Does Camilla deserve all that hatred, or are people just exaggerating?